Yo, what's up, everyone? Good morning. I know it's obviously not the best terms to say hello this morning, but it's still a good morning. What's up, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. We are seeing a little bit of a crypto dump today. Not dump, I mean, dump would be an exaggeration, but we are seeing the crypto market down a little bit today. What we can see is that Bitcoin is currently back at $108.4 thousand. We got altcoins pulling back a decent amount, and most alts down anywhere from 7 to 10% today and today alone. Now, a lot of people are wondering, why is this happening? Why is this going on? Why is the market pulling back today? And so I wanted to jump on live stream with you all and go over exactly what I believe is happening, why it's happening, and what I'm doing about it right now. So without further ado, we're actually going to go ahead and get straight on into it, and then I'll start to get some questions answered and stuff like that. Whenever we get the chance. But welcome in, everyone. I see everybody's feeling a little bit saucy today. Everyone's feeling a little bit upset. We got all the homies in here today. It's all good though. It's all good though. Without further ado, let's jump in. So the crypto market's pulling back today, and it is a little bit of a weird pullback on the surface because we actually did get some good news last night. So last night we saw President Trump and China's leader Xi Jinping. They did go ahead and meet, and they actually had some pretty decent negotiations. So the conclusion at the end of that meeting was that Trump told reporters while heading home on Air Force One that he agreed to cut his 20% tariff increase imposed over China's role in producing fentanyl and chemicals used to make it to 10%. China confirmed that they will take average tariffs on Chinese goods to 47%, down from 57%. The two sides agreed to continue to work on cracking down on illicit flows of the drugs into the U.S., and other tariff increases remain in place for now. The two sides have extended a truce on even steeper tariff increases that begin in May, when Trump and Xi Jinping agreed to allow time to work on a framework for resolving trade solutions. So overall, this is actually pretty good news. Okay, this is actually pretty good news. I know the market may not be reflecting that right now, but this is pretty good news. And the reason why I say that is because this, in many ways, does erase a lot of the uncertainty and a lot of the concern that there has been being built around this whole situation between China and Trump. Now, is this going to last? Who knows? Maybe Trump is going to make a tweet 2 days from now saying that China disrespected our stocking of oak wood. And then next thing you know, we're going to see a lot of bullshit start again. But for the time being, this does alleviate some of the uncertainty that, again, has been caused by all of this, especially from back on October 9th and October 10th. So first things first, this is good news. I know the market may not be reacting that way, which I'll explain why in a second, but this is, of course, good news. I also think that this is good news as well because the Fed is okay. How do I explain this? The Fed said yesterday, Jerome Powell said yesterday that the Fed was going to be taking everything going on into consideration before making their next decision, right? And they said there's a lot of uncertainty happening. There's the government shutdown, which hopefully is coming to an end soon. There's a situation with China, with the tariff situation as well. And all of these things are happening so fast that the Fed may need to slow down, right? They may not cut interest rates in December because of all of these things that are happening. And I think this alleviates one of those things, right? One of the things that's driving concern to the Fed has now been alleviated. And so the only thing now is this government shutdown. If the government shutdown can come to an end, which I feel like they generally are going to push this to the very last second that they can, which would be like tomorrow night, and then they'll come up with some sort of solution. It'd be pretty surprising to me if we do go into November with this, but it is very possible. It is very possible. It'd just be a little surprising to me. But it seems like they're kind of eyeing that. And it's like if the government shutdown can come to an end, data can start releasing. They can have quantitative data on what is happening in the market, what's happening in the economy. Then they'll continue on the route that they've been on, right? But if they don't get that clarity, they're not going to make a move. And that could obviously be a net negative for the markets, at least in the short term. And so this is still a great piece of news in general, but there is still more work to do, right? We need to see this government shutdown end. We need to see things resume like normal before things continue to get worse. And then that obviously puts the Fed in a bit of a weird situation. You know, one thing that I will say is a lot of people have criticized the Fed for that take, and I actually think it's a great take. I think it's super reasonable personally. And for me to be siding with the Fed, I mean, that and Jerome Powell specifically, which he's not in control of all the decisions, guys. But for me to be agreeing with what they're doing, I think that should say something because I've literally just disagreed with almost everything they've done. But I think it makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of chaos happening. No one really knows how it's really impacting the economy. And we can't just base all of the moves that the Fed makes, which impacts everyone, on anecdotal perception. That is not a good idea. It needs to be on definitive quantitative data. And if they can't get that, it's hard for them to make decisions. So the best thing to do would be to do nothing. I completely agree. Okay. I completely agree. And so with that in mind, that's kind of where we are with this and with this situation that we're in right now. So in general, the market is in a bit of a solid spot. Interest rates were cut yesterday. Quantitative tightening is coming to an end on December 1st. We're seeing the China situation alleviate all the fears. We're actually in a pretty good spot. The only thing now is this whole government shutdown, which I believe will come to an end at some point soon. So if that is the case, and if the market is in a good spot, the question that many of you have is, well, why is the market pulling back? Why is crypto falling? I mean, I'm seeing more negative sentiment in this chat right now than I've seen in a while. And I'm gonna be honest, if you are very sensitive, you might want to leave the stream now because I'm going to start calling you a crybaby in like 30 seconds. I'm just warning you. Okay. I'm just warning you now. If you get upset, if you got thin skin, I'm gonna start making fun of you in a few minutes. Okay. All right, now that they're gone. Anyway, yeah, listen, people are crying. I don't know why. We literally talked about this yesterday. Okay? We literally talked about this yesterday. So if you were in the live stream yesterday, like last night, put a 1 in the chat for me real quick. Okay? Put a 1 in the chat for me real quick. And the reason why I asked you to do that is because in yesterday's live stream, we looked at the liquidation maps and I said, listen, what's happening right now is the market came down during that meeting to liquidate that first wave, right? Y'all remember we had 2 waves of liquidations to the downside. We had the first one from like 107 to 109, and then we had another one from 111 to 112. Well, during the meeting yesterday, we came back down and we liquidated that first wave of liquidations, which were like right here. And then the market recovered a little bit. And in that live stream, what did I say? As we were recovering, listen, I can actually probably show you the exact time frames that this happened. So this was the live stream right here. We came back down, we liquidated that first wave, we started to recover. What did I say? I said, be very careful because there is still liquidations to the downside right here. And it wouldn't shock me whatsoever that even if Bitcoin's price recovers back upwards, that it comes back down one more time to trap these traders, come back down and smash through these liquidations one more time. They're not just going to leave these right here. Go watch this video right here. Go watch it at like 2 minutes or 2 hours and 5 minutes. That's exactly what we were talking about. And so, like, my whole thing is if you were on that stream yesterday and you're one of the people crying, you're just being weird. We knew this was coming. You're just being emotional. Grow up, bro. If you didn't see yesterday's live stream, sorry. Welcome to crypto. It kind of sucks sometimes. Even when there's good news, there's still going to be liquidations that happen. But the reason why this is occurring right now is simply because people got confident. I'm trying to tell you guys, everyone's screaming and crying and complaining about crypto. When is it going to stop? When are we going to see the crypto market pump? I'm like, listen, we're not going to see anything happen until open interest falls. Nothing good is going to happen. We are going to continue to see Bitcoin's price go up and down and up and down and up and down, liquidating everyone on both sides until the market gets rinsed, until people stop betting super big on leverage long trades that the market's going to go up. Once they stop, the market can pump. Until they stop, the market will not do much but go up and down, and liquidate people on both sides. It's what happens every single time. This happened last year prior to that huge pump that we saw. It happened at the very beginning of this year. We saw it throughout this summer. Open interest dropped, then the market rallied, and it's happening right now. And I mean, how many times do we have to say that this is going to happen? Then it happens before I start becoming an asshole and saying, I told you, right? I'm trying not to pull the I told you so card, but at some point you have to listen, right? What is happening right now is that they're flushing out the long traders. It's what they do. They do this so often. It's not even just this year. Everyone thinks, oh, it's only happened this year. It happened last year too. Last summer, we saw a very similar thing happen to a smaller scale. We were talking about it on live streams like we are now last summer, and it's happening right now. It's all it is. So what's happening right now? Well, the market's coming back down and liquidating. So you remember, you see all of these liquidations that were available to the downside last night. Let's go over here and let's go look at what they look like now. So let's go to the 7-day Bitcoin chart. Look, they're getting washed. There are still some. Don't get me wrong. There's still some. There's 1.5 billion at $106,000. So this market could continue to go lower. It absolutely could. It very well might, especially while it has momentum. It going back down a little bit further, just like this, liquidates another like 1.5 billion. So don't be surprised if that happens. We're not building up any bullish divergence or anything quite yet. So the market easily could continue a little bit lower, but we are rinsing through them. And they're not getting like the bulls are getting extremely dead right now. The long traders, they're kind of just quitting. Look at how there's like no 7-day liquidations down here. It's because they're giving up. Even if we look at the 30-day, which is more of a macro window, sure, there are still some liquidations down here, but not many. Like there's some just because Bitcoin had that regional low right here. 1 second. Bitcoin had this regional low at like 104K. So naturally, you're going to have some liquidation levels set around that zone because people don't think we'll set an equal or a lower low. But there's not many left. Like it's just getting washed. Even look at the 1 day. They're just getting washed out. They're still a little bit below. It's about $1 billion worth or so, but they're getting washed out. But what people need to understand is that the reason why this is happening, listen, the reason why the market is doing what it's doing is to stack up short side liquidations. That's all they're doing. They've been doing this for a long time. Every time the market does this, one of these, pumps, then dumps, then pumps, then dumps, pumps, dumps, pumps, dumps, pumps, dumps. Every time these pumps and these dumps happen, what's occurring is that the long traders are getting liquidated because they always bet heavier than short traders. Long traders are getting liquidated on every dump. And the amount of people who are believing that the bear market is here, who are either betting that it's here by opening up short trades or simply just leaving crypto, increases. Every single time one of these moves happens, the amount of people who think the bear market is here increases and increases and increases. And oftentimes when people like that, or when people are under that sort of belief that the bear market is here, what's going to happen is that if the day comes, I'm not going to say when, but if the day comes that this market does find some support and really just give us a ripper. And when will that happen? I don't know. It might not happen. But if the market does rip towards the upside, what's going to happen is all of those people, the growing amount of people who are confident that the bear market was here, they get liquidated. They get smashed. I mean, absolutely destroyed when the market pumps. They get absolutely forced out of their positions. And then all of the people who exited the market, they're going to feel FOMO. So they're going to buy back in at higher levels, which generates exit liquidity for the market manipulators. And they're going to be taking profit on those purchases that they did on those dumps. So listen, the dump comes, They buy, they accumulate, people get liquidated to the downside, then the market pumps, they get to take profits on those dumps that they had during those liquidations, so they get double dip free crypto. The market pumps, people FOMO back in because they're emotional crybabies like half of you in the chat right now, and then next thing you know, when it pumps to the upside, it starts to push up towards highs. Guess what? They take profits, leaving you in the dust, and then you're right back in my chat being a crybaby. It's the game that they play. Now, sure, I may be wrong. Like I said, there is a chance that I'm wrong. And maybe Bitcoin's price just crashes to the downside and we go into a bear market. That is possible. It's just not likely. That's what people need to understand. Possible and likely are not the same thing. I would give that a 30% chance. I would give it a 70% chance that we rally. Why? Because the trap is set. You have to look at the freaking market as a market manipulator. Look at the 30-day, 20 billion with a B, $1 billion worth of liquidations above us back at 128,000. Look at what is happening right here on Hyperliquid. Boom. Right now, if we go all the way up to 160K, for example, cumulative short liquidation leverage is now over 10,000 Bitcoin. Guys, do you know how much money that is? That is ridiculous. Okay. Do you not you got to see the game for what the game is. It's easy for this to happen. It's easy for this move to happen. They just have to let it happen, but they're not going to while they can make all this money. Look at all this money that they're making. Can you blame them? Shit. I mean, I'm not a piece of shit person, so I wouldn't do this. But if you are a piece of shit person, can you blame them for just absolutely taking advantage of all of the gamblers and degenerates in the markets who are betting on 100x leverage, smashing through $500 million worth of liquidations every single day? No, you can't blame them. They're pieces of shit. They want to take the whole market for themselves, and you guys are giving them the ability to by being degenerates and gambling on 100x and 500x leverage. So naturally, what's going to happen is they're going to whip your ass, whip your ass, whip your ass until you stop showing up to the fight yard, right? And then the market will go on about its merry way. It'll do what it does, right? So what's happening right now is the market's pulling back. It's liquidating. It's finalizing this move to the downside before it finds some stability and then decides whether or not it's going to bounce. The good part is that it has some room, and I'm not really too concerned about this pullback right now personally because we do have room. Bitcoin's price needs to just stay above $104,000 on like a daily close. Okay, if it wicks below 104K, that doesn't scare me because there is liquidations like right around this little area. I'm not really too scared of that. But if Bitcoin starts getting daily closes below 104, that's problematic. That is something that would be more concerning, and that would start to call into question whether or not this macro structure is breaking and a pullback to like 90K is on the way, right? But as long as we're above 104K, I'm not scared of this, especially knowing how all of these liquidations are genuinely drying up right now towards the downside, right? And so what we need to do is just let Bitcoin do its thing. Let them rinse out the long traders, let them smash all of the gamblers, get them out of there, right? Just get them out of there. Boom. They're going to get liquidated. The short traders are going to get stacked towards the top side. I think Bitcoin's going to try to find some support and probably come back up. This is the same thing that we figured was going to happen right here. It's the same thing that we figured was going to happen right here and right here. It's the same thing that I think is going to happen now. And I'm going to assume that this cycle is going to just continue over and over and over again until we see something break, and something will eventually break. I'm either going to be right and Bitcoin's price is going to find some support, maybe give us a scare, right? Maybe come back down to like 96K, give us a scare in return, or simply just maintain support and give us a pump. Or other people will be right, and Bitcoin's going to enter into a bear market. At the end of the day, we can't control what's going to happen. We can just give ourselves the best opportunity to make money in this moment, in this instant. So what do we do in moments like this? What do we do when the market sucks? Well, we can only do one thing. You can only really stick to your long-term conviction or don't. It's up to you, bro. And so what am I going to do? Yeah, of course, I go and I dollar cost average in moments like this. I'm going to do a small dollar cost average today. Why? Well, because simply the 4-hour RSI getting very close to that 30 level. I like to buy Bitcoin when the 4-hour RSI hits the 30 level. So it's not there yet, so I'm not going to pull the trigger quite yet, but we're getting very close to it. I think maybe Bitcoin's price comes back down, finishes this little wipeout towards the downside. There's a lot right there. There's a lot at like 107.8. And so maybe it comes back down, say another $800 or so. I don't know, guys. I have no idea what's going to happen, but maybe it comes back down, say a 107, 107.5. We see this 4-hour RSI dip to that oversold threshold. And then we can go from there. And sure, I like the dollar cost average on days like today. And guess what I'm doing, guys? I'm playing the game. Because you remember when Bitcoin's price fell to $103.6 thousand, we bought a little bit of Bitcoin on a live stream and everybody called me a fucking moron. All the same crybabies in the chat right now. And I'm not talking to all of you. I'm just talking to the crybabies in the chat. But all of the crybabies in the chat were, Tyler, we're going to $90,000, bro. You're buying Bitcoin for no reason. Like sniffling and drooling on the keyboards, right? And then Bitcoin's price rallied up to $116,000 2 days ago. And what's hilarious, I have screenshots of it, but I didn't want to post them because I don't want to be a total asswipe. I saw the same people who were in the chat telling me my purchase was too early, saying Bitcoin was going to go down, calling me weak hands and paper hands. People were calling me paper hands just a couple of days ago when we took profit at the mid-range threshold. I said, listen, we are at a key zone of resistance. This is mid-channel resistance right here. That's what this is. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take profits off of Bitcoin. I'm going to take profits off of ETH. I'm going to take profits off of Solana. Why? Because we have been struggling at mid-channel resistance, just like we were right here. We're struggling with it right here. And so what I want to do is take some profits off the table, profit from this move right here towards the upside. And if Bitcoin's price pulls back, I'm going to take some of those profits and attempt to compound them by getting a free dollar cost average back at the lower levels. And people called me weak hands. People told me I had no conviction that my thesis was wrong. Yada yada. Totally fine. I don't care. Believe what you want to believe. No fucking problem. But here we are. Now Bitcoin's price pulls back, liquidates those people. And now those same people who told me I bought too soon here and that I'm a weak hands up here are going to tell me I'm a moron for dollar cost averaging if we hit like 107.5. Okay. It is what it is. This is just the game that I play, and people don't like that game because it goes against their feelings, right? In this moment, everyone was scared, so I go against them being scared, and they're like, and then Bitcoin's price pumps, and they're all excited, like, oh, we're going to $1 million. They're like, and then the price comes back down, and then I buy, right? You guys are gonna have fucking heart attacks. Like you're literally gonna have gray hairs in a few years. You just need to relax. When Bitcoin's price pumps sell, when Bitcoin's price falls, or when Bitcoin's price pumps, take profits, and whenever Bitcoin's price falls, just buy some. It's not that complicated. Now, why is the altcoin market falling? Well, because the altcoin market follows Bitcoin. I don't understand why people are confused about this one either. I think this whole session is just going to be me yapping. I'm just going to warn you now. But yeah, why is Bitcoin's or why are altcoin prices falling? Because Bitcoin's falling. Bitcoin is in control of the market. I've been telling you guys this for like 2 weeks. Bitcoin is back in control. What happened is that Bitcoin found some support in the macro Fibonacci golden zone, used that support and had a reverse cup and handle right here. We pointed this out on live stream, broke towards the upside, had a really big run, but ended up capitulating back down and following back into trend, right? So what's now happened is that Bitcoin has taken back over control of this market. Also, the crypto market is in fear. When Bitcoin is in or crypto is in fear, what does the market do? It falls behind Bitcoin. Why? Because Bitcoin is safe. Imagine you're in a scary situation where people are robbing a bank and there's the big strong guy that looks like Clark Kent in front of you. What are you going to do? You're going to go by that guy. People are going by Bitcoin. They just want to be in the safety zone right now. So if Bitcoin goes down, alts fall harder. If Bitcoin goes up, alts will pump a little bit, but they're going to mostly just sit back and watch to see if it lasts. So you have to watch Bitcoin. So why are altcoins falling? Because Bitcoin is falling. It's just that simple. Now they have their own structures. Don't get me wrong. They have their own way to do this. Sure, 100%. Right. Look at Ethereum, for example. Ethereum's not following Bitcoin perfectly. I mean, Ethereum's in its own channel, but the overall system remains the same. Why? Because look, ETH is range bound at a descent. So Bitcoin is sideways ranging right now, right? Bitcoin is sideways ranging like this. ETH is sideways ranging in a descending structure, in a descending channel. So when Bitcoin was approaching the top side of its own channel, ETH approached the top side of its own channel. And now that Bitcoin is approaching the bottom side of its channel, ETH is approaching the bottom side of its own channel. The same thing for Solana. Do you see how both of these are interacting with their channels in a similar way to Bitcoin, but just in different fashions? So I'm not saying that ETH and Solana and altcoins can't have their own structure and price action, but in general, the decisions that they're making are following Bitcoin. Everything is following Bitcoin. And so naturally, you just need to watch Bitcoin. Stop staring at your altcoin charts. It's not time for altcoins to pump. How many times have we said this over the last few weeks? Listen, people are not rich. People don't have money. They don't have capital. They don't have liquidity. We have not seen the flows flow into the pockets of the small fries yet. We've not seen that happen. People don't feel good. This economy doesn't feel good. It's scary. It's worrying. Government workers don't even know if they're getting paid for this month worth of work. People are not taking risks right now. So we're not going to see altcoins pump yet. It's not time. I told you. It goes like this. Bitcoin, bigger alts, smaller alts. Why the hell would small alts be pumping right now? It doesn't make sense. Bitcoin's barely pumping. Bigger alts are barely pumping. Small alts aren't going to pump. Crypto bubble's not going to look fantastic on the macros quite yet. It's not time, but it doesn't mean that the time won't come. You guys are just fucking impatient. Relax. Just wait. Give it time. It is happening. It's happening. Look at what's happening. And if you don't think that it's happening, you're just full of shit. I'm going to be honest. You're being a crybaby. And I'm sorry I'm making fun of you so much today. I just kind of wanted to make fun of you guys a little bit. I apologize. I love you still all the most. But Look at what happened. Bitcoin's prices rallied towards all-time highs. As a result of Bitcoin's price rallying to all-time highs, Ethereum got very close to all-time highs. Solana got very close to all-time highs. XRP pushed up towards all-time highs. BNB pushed up to all-time highs. The top five all pushed to all-time highs. So if you had a portfolio that consisted majoritively of Bitcoin and top five, you are up like crazy right now. But we've not seen the rotation from the top five into the rest of them. Why? Because it's not time yet. It does not make sense for that to happen because we need macro clarity. Until there's macro clarity, a reduction in uncertainty, more liquidity, we will not see altcoins pump. But the cool part is that we are getting in a position in which it's possible. Why? Quantitative tightening is ending in December 1st. What does that mean? The Fed is going to stop pulling liquidity out of the market. What do altcoins rely on? Liquidity. So in an environment that we've been in which the Fed is pulling liquidity out the market, knowing that altcoins rely on it to grow, what's going to happen? They're not going to do shit. But the moment the Fed stops pulling that liquidity out of the market and liquidity starts to bundle, people become more risk on. They're not going to be risk averse. They'll be risk on. They'll be willing to take some of these more, kind of bit of a bigger gamble. And when that instance happens, and over a little bit of time, as we get some more clarity, we get through holiday season, we do these sorts of things, you start to find that liquidity finding its way into more risk on assets. Now, it might take some time. Historically speaking, when quantitative tightening ends, the market doesn't perform well. Why? Because they had to stop tightening for a reason. The underlying reasons as to why the Fed has to make a move is bad, technically bad for the world, for the market, whatever. So that's going to have an impact first. Then the market front runs this move. They go in, they start to make that next move, right? The market will go and say, okay, well, even though things are shit right now, which is why the market's down a little bit, they should be a little bit better over time as we start to see this liquidity start to impact it. So what's going to happen? Then you start to see it flow in. Now, a general thing that a lot of people say, Tyler, we only got 6 weeks left for the crypto market to pump. Please fucking keep saying that. If everyone believes with certainty that the crypto market will end in November or December, or the bull market will end in November or December, that's a good thing. If all the crybabies believe that, that's a good thing. Why? Because if everyone thinks the market will end in November, it won't end in November. And if everyone believes that it won't end in November, it will end in November. So I'm glad that I'm in the minority of people who thinks that this market could give us gains past November, past December. I'm glad that I'm in this little group because the group that is the smallest usually tends to win. And that's what we're starting to see this market set us up for. It's my genuine belief that we don't have to pump in October. We don't have to pump in November. Fuck, guys, we don't even have to pump in December, although I do think that there is a possibility that we do. Because everyone's screaming that the cycle only has 4 weeks left. It only has 5 weeks left. When has the market ever done what you said it was going to do? Truthfully, when has the market ever done what people say? People say, Tyler, the market could never change. This year has been different than every cycle. Okay, this is one of those things that always pisses me off, right? This is one of those things. Let me kind of rant about this for a second. So everyone right now is saying the cycle's not going to change. The cycle can't be different. The cycle is the cycle. What cycle? Okay, let me ask you this. When has crypto been like this year before? Truthfully, when has it ever been? This was supposed to be the best year ever for crypto, according to the 4-year cycle. What happened? What happened, guys? Manipulation, sure. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, macro uncertainty. Yeah, for sure. So are you now telling me, that macroeconomics, geopolitical events, liquidity based cycles will have an impact that can change the cycle? Duh. I think it's naive to say that an asset class that is brand new in the grand scheme of things, zoom out, brand new compared to gold, compared to the S&P 500 even, right? Brand new has to stick to a cycle because it's what, done it 3 times? What? That doesn't even make sense. You're trying to convince me that something has to happen forever because it's done it a couple times. Imagine being so naive to think that an asset class that is this new can't change. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. This cycle has been different than every other cycle. So how can it not be different? It just doesn't make sense. I don't know, bro. I just it annoys me. It's one of those arguments that's just so blatantly obvious to me. Altcoins were supposed to be amazing this year. They weren't. Why? Cycle changed. Why? Macro events changed the cycle. Let me ask you guys something. You genuinely don't believe that if in January the Fed announces we are giving everyone $10,000, and I know I'm being ridiculous. Hear me out. We're giving everyone $10,000. You genuinely don't believe that that would cause altcoins to pump just because the 4-year cycle is supposed to end? Of course they would. Duh. So, okay. I don't like this 30 minutes of me yapping now, but I think you guys understand. And at some point, I'm going to have to stop saying this because I keep saying the same thing every day. Every single stream, I'm saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. Okay. But I hope you guys kind of get where I'm coming from. And listen, some people think that we are in a bear market. Let me ask you something. And I'm being super serious here. I'm not even trying to make fun of you. I just would like you to convince me. I'd like you to convince me. What makes you so confident? All I want you to do is look at that chart. This is the weekly chart. And tell me, what do you see right here that convinces you that we are in a bear market? I'm not going to say anything until somebody gives me an honest opinion. All of you crybabies. No, I'm not even going to call. You guys aren't. The crybabies left earlier. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Interesting point. Dupa RCG says, bro, come on. You have pushed a bunch of alts such as Coral and Qubit. Now you're telling people not to focus on alts. I'm not going to make fun of you, but let me explain to you why this is a dumb take. I've told people consistently, I focus 90% of my time, energy, and effort in crypto right now on the big things. And I allocate 10% of my time, energy, and effort to the small micro caps and smaller altcoins. So 90% of my content is dedicated to big things, 10% is dedicated to small things. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I want to find a convincing argument. Let's see. One good convincing argument that we are in a bear market. Look at the weekly RSI now. Okay. This isn't really helping the cause. Because what this tells me, what the weekly RSI tells me right now, is that truthfully, we could go lower and not be in a bear market because we have so much macro support. We have cyclical support in here. This tells me we could go to 90K probably or 80K and not be in a bear market. So no, I'm not. It doesn't make sense. This cycle has been different than almost every other cycle. Quadruple bearish divergence on RSI and MACD crossover has shown every time, especially after a major liquidation event. On what time frame? Stocks are not dumping. Not in general. Not in general. No, they're not. It's just not true. If you look at Bitcoin compared to the US dollar, which the US dollar is chopped, it's a bull market. But if you look at Bitcoin versus gold in saying that's a bear market is just stupid. I'm sorry, but it's stupid. You're comparing an asset class that pumped earlier to an asset class or an asset that's pumping now and saying that the asset class that pumped earlier is now in a bear market. No, it's just not. No. Now, I'm going to keep going, by the way, because I genuinely want someone to convince me. But am I saying that crypto can't be in a bear market? Oh, no, not at all. It could be. It 100% could be. Bitcoin could be in distribution. Listen, let me give the devil's advocate role here. It could be in distribution. Bitcoin could be going sideways and trending. right now. People are getting rinsed. We're starting to see the whales actually exit, which doesn't make a ton of sense, but let's just stick to that. Okay. I don't know why they would have accumulated in the macro crash that we saw, but whatever. They might just be rinsing the market to make as much profit right now as possible before Bitcoin goes into a bear market that pulls us back down to say 60K, 50K, 40K, let's say 30K. Maybe we come back down below all of our bounce zones. It is possible with 100% certainty. It is possible. What are we seeing right now that says it is certain? That is everyone's screaming, we're in a bear market, we're in a bear market, we're in a bear market. I'm looking at this and saying, what makes you so sure? How are you certain? That's all I want to know. How are you certain? What are you seeing that I'm not seeing that makes you certain? I'm not convinced yet. And I can be convinced. Bitcoin's price deliberately breaks between this below this ascending blue line. Oh yeah, that'll start to concern me a little bit. Bitcoin's price comes back down and falls below 90K. Oh yeah. Now we're starting to get a little bit concerned. Bitcoin falls below that golden Fibonacci zone between 90,000 and 80,000. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's bad. That's bad news. We don't want to see that happen. So I can be convinced. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not yet. And I want someone to convince me. That's all I want. Let's see. Last two times in last winter in March, April, we had a small alt season. Then that was when DXI was rising. Now it looks like it's rising. It might be time. We'll see. Because Benjamin Cohen bases all of his analysis on previous quantitative data, which I think is cool. I think it's cool. But I think Benjamin Cohen, who is a fantastic guy, an awesome guy, probably better at this than me, been in here longer than me. Take this with a grain of salt. I'm just willing to give my opinion. He does not factor in macroeconomics enough into his analysis. And he's based all of his analysis purely on quantitative data, which is good now. But the problem is that there have been moments historically where he has been wrong because of what is happening macro politically and macroeconomically. And why do I know that? Because I watch his content. I'm a fan of Benjamin Cohen. I will never speak bad about him because he's a pioneer of our space. One of the best creators that probably, in my opinion, the best creator of all time in crypto because of the fact that he doesn't clickbait, keeps it simple, keeps it honest, gives his opinion, doesn't give a fuck about money. He just cares about value. I love that. So I'll never speak badly about him. But he's been wrong historically because he doesn't factor in geopolitics, macroeconomics, and things of that nature enough. So, and those are the exact things that have broken history in terms of quantitative data. Gold rotated to stocks, though. I bet on crypto like you guys, but the rotation went to stocks. The wells and market makers got too greedy, and 90% of retail is really gone. What do you think happens when DXY rolls over and goes to 80, guys? I don't know. Don't let us peasants do smart decisions. Let me whales and market. It's a way of things. Poor whales. Cycle 3 low, high 152, low. Okay. And if you think it's going to continue over and over and over again, you're just going to end up betting very big on that and end up being wrong. Patterns do not work. This is a Bitcoin cycle, not an altcoin cycle. No altcoin. That's just not true. It like this thesis and V Hunt, we actually usually agree on things. I just don't agree with you. To say completely that this isn't an altcoin cycle, like, okay, this is what pisses me off about it. Everyone would agree that 2021 was the craziest shit that we have ever seen before in terms of pumps. Like Ethereum, for example, got all the way up to like nearly $5,000 off of like a run from $80. Crazy, right? The highs that we were at back then, where everyone was the most excited, are the same levels that we're at now. So how can we say, although it's been smaller, 100%, of course it has been. Why would it not be? It only makes sense for it to be smaller. We have seen Ethereum, Solana, XRP, BNB print hundreds of like so much money. The top things ran, the good things ran. We've even seen things this cycle like SWI run. Since 2024, for example, SWI ran 1,300%. I don't agree. I think people are expecting and hoping and wishing that every single altcoin in their whole portfolio goes up 10x. And sorry, It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It seems like whenever Iran, and Israel fight each other, we have a quick dump, then pump. Yeah. The gold rotation is not over. Look at every time gold topped and Bitcoin followed. It's separated by a substantial amount of time. Yes. I need a pump. Shout out to Geese Lee, by the way. I need a pump before my birthday in a few weeks. The alt season is like a light particle, which is supposed to act as a wave, but as soon as something is watching at it as an active particle, basically I'll switch up and nobody. Yes, David, exactly. It's not hard at all, Gustavo. You get it. What up, Strafe? Remember, guys, another argument is that interest rates are not low enough despite inflation rising slowly. Therefore, macroeconomic conditions, which I wish I could say more, may argue against continuation. It could, but you have to think of how things have performed during quantitative tightening. The top happens when everyone is bearish. Sure, guys, keep yapping. Exactly. Just go back into the stream, homie. All major cryptos have made huge moves November, December last year. Once we hit those months, all major coins will seriously remember the rest of the year. Okay. Bitcoin was bought by institutions, and that is different. This is part of the cycle. Retail gets rug pulled, and that's just not true. If you bought Bitcoin, if you bought Ethereum, if you bought, I don't know why I keep saying Ethereum, but if you bought Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and BNB, the things in the top, for example, you did not get rug pulled. If you built a crypto portfolio that was at 80% microcaps, you walked into the casino. But most investors, and I'm like, this is just the truth. Most investors are majoritively top 10. And most investors are still in some capacity of a profit. You only got rug pulled if you were buying mostly microcaps, which are not performing well, I will agree, like a Caspa, for example, or you leverage trade, both of which come with elevated risks, and people have lost because of those elevated risks. I have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars this cycle on some microcaps, not leverage trades. I haven't leverage traded in much over a year now, but I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in unrealized profit, unrealized gains, because I do allocate 10% of my portfolio to microcaps and small cryptos. You don't hear me complaining because I have a risk management system. So no, you didn't get rug pulled unless you sold at in a dump, which is your fault. You bought a bunch of small cryptos, which is your fault, or you leverage traded. This is your fault. You just can't blame everybody else for all of you. And I'm not saying that's what you did. Whoever said that, but that's how people think. The people who are the most emotional are the ones who made the most uninformed decisions, truth be told. I love Connor's leverage trading strategy. I just don't have as much time to do that. And I just don't see a point personally in me doing a bunch of leverage trading whenever I can just hold, right? I'm a dynamic holder. Yeah. I do. I've been seeing them send messages and stuff behind the scenes. Were we bearish last October before the big Q4 move? Just go look. Let's see. And I know that I've done a lot of like shit talking this stream and kind of being a little bit rude, but sometimes people just need to hear it because the perspective that people have right now is just ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous. The perceptions I'm seeing in this market are actually ridiculous. This was October of last year. So we had just started breaking out of that downtrend that we had been in since March. By the way, we downtrended from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 months. We went straight down last year before the market rallied to all-time highs. And guess what people were saying? This cycle is different and the market's going to go down because of this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing and blah, 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 blah. Yes, sir, Greg. People say it's different, but don't want to accept or keep an open mind to changes and take it. You get it, Eric. I'm on a 10-year horizon, so I really don't give a shit about the daily technical analysis. That's for traders. I'm a hodler since $300 Bitcoin and a penny Cardano. So I know the truth is that is where 100%. I was there last cycle. There was plenty of fear and by far more reason to be worried it was over before it wasn't. Yeah, that's also a part of it as well. Like, let's really break this down. Tariff situation is being resolved as of now. Iran and Israel situation is alleviated in some capacity. Russia-Ukraine situation is alleviated in some capacity. Quantitative tightening is ending. Interest rates are being cut. Bitcoin's a couple like 10% from all-time highs. Gold just rallied to an all-time high. VOO just went to an all-time high, which are less risky than crypto, by the way. So naturally, they go first. In this environment, then we go into a bear market. 100% strafe. Yeah. I don't know. This is what we're going to do. If you think we're in a bear market, put a 1. If you think we're in a bull market, put a 2. While you guys are doing that, I want to show some stuff real quick. So first and foremost, don't forget, guys, every single day, I go into the crypto school and I post what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing, what I'm doing. Yesterday, I dropped some alpha on them. You guys can see. I mean, they obviously liked it there. And over in the school, there's a ton more. Not only are you going to get to see what I'm doing, Connor Kinney's doing, what our other coaches are doing, but you're also going to get workshops, courses, classes, live streams, and join a community that's winning. Even on a day like today, we got guys in here winning. Over the last 24 hours, 150%, 170, 200, 17%, 37%, 37%, 120%, 40, 40. Look at all of the gains that have been generated just over the last 24 hours. I mean, look at this. So if you want to get access to coaching, workshops, classes, courses, and again, join a community that is winning every single day. One person who signs up to this crypto school today with the link down below who enters code OCT30, like October 30th, OCT30, you're going to get 20% off if you sign up today. Only one person. There's 800 of you on this live stream right now. That's going to be gone in the next couple minutes. So if you're serious about joining, check out the link, go down below, OCT30 in the discount code box. You're going to get 20% off, only one of you, okay? So feel free to go check that out. Also, the other thing I will say is I have been posting a ton of educational content over on my second channel, Tyler Teaches Crypto. I have a couple videos dropping this week, a couple more next week as well, where it's simply just crypto education. That is linked down below. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. Help your boy out. 25 more of you guys. Go check it out. Go subscribe. Check out the videos. Let me know what you think. Okay. But let's see what people are thinking. 1 for bear market, 2 for bull market. 2 for now is a fantastic perspective. Mostly 2s. Okay, so I'm not going to keep yapping about the fact that I don't think we're in a bear market. Most of you agree. The bears are just the loudest ones. If we go in a bear market with all the shorts open, that'll make a lot of people money. I don't know how that'll make sense. Yeah, this doesn't really happen. If y'all are bears, open up your 10x short and forget about it. But I think it's not time to do that yet. I completely agree. Can't lie, my portfolio, even alts, have at least 2x more like Solana, Sui, but it just hasn't moved like I thought it would. But overall, there you go, V-Hunt. Better perspective. I still say hold all the altcoins you believe in, but don't go hard. I don't see it pulling through to a bull run. It looks more like Bitcoin will go down and then alts, and then all alts leading to end of the cycle. Interesting. Bitcoin breaks out of that range. Once Bitcoin breaks out of that range, the clock starts ticking. My genuine opinion is that if Bitcoin breaks above 125, the clock is ticking. Like, okay, like especially if Bitcoin breaks above that range like next month, the clock is ticking. Like we may only have a little bit left, like a few weeks at like a few weeks to a few months. Genuinely, before some sort of like more like neutered bear market, and then another rally sometime end of next year. So it just depends. I think it makes a huge difference who is invested in a long term in Bitcoin ETH versus those who are altcoins waiting for the yeah. If you are mostly in altcoins, you've just got to learn that that's not a good idea. If you're mostly in small alts, it's not a good idea. Short at all time high 2025. I love to a bear market to get okay. That's also another thing that I think about is like if a bear market does happen, what is it about that that's so scary to people, right? Like to me, it's like, okay, I know with certainty another bull market will happen again in the future at some point. So it's like if a bear market comes, I get guaranteed gains at some point. I'm going to buy during the bear market and get guaranteed gains when the bull market comes. Okay. So it's like the bull market's going to continue now and I'm going to get a bunch of gains, or the bear market's going to start and then I'm going to get even more gains. It's just going to take a little bit more time. If you're willing to just wait, like if you have a long enough time horizon, what are you so freaked out about? Unless you're in crypto right now trying to get rich within the next 6 months, and newsflash, it's not going to happen. You said dumping again right now. We better be hard falling or I'm going to be mad. 107.9 coming right back. I told you guys, listen, 107.5 is where those liquidations are. Don't be surprised if we head down to it. It's scary when you have 50K, then you have 10K. It's stupid, but yes, you need to buy in that bear market when tumbleweeds are rolling. Yes. Imagine a cycle where nobody says this time is different. Would that be true? Most people are not saying this time is different. Oh, 1 second. I just realized I didn't. So shout out to Paul Ruiz. The best thing to do on days like this, turn off your phone and go fishing. 100%. I wish I was close enough to go fishing somewhere. I'd love that. Shout out to you, Paul. All love. Beyond Thunderstick. I'm a bear, but it's because I DCA. I know Bitcoin will go up, so I want the bears back in town. So roar. Shout out to you, homie. I appreciate the donation. I like hood. I have a good bit of hood. I'm not I don't care if it falls. It'll be fine. It will be a huge waste of money to hold. I've done it. No, you've not held long enough. Truthfully, that's a dumb take. I'm sorry. I keep calling some of you guys dumb, but it's a dumb. I'll call some shit dumb when I see it's dumb. Why? Because I've been holding since 2019. Like dedicated holding since then. Bought a little bit in 2017. Dedicated holding 2019. Really big holding since 2021. And I've made money. Why? Because I've been in here longer than you. Should piercing through 107.5 dumping my alt bags right now. I just don't understand why people sell during pullbacks, bro. I genuinely couldn't tell you the last time I just sold a whole bunch of stuff when the market was falling. Let's see how we're looking. All righty. Right on top of it. Very beginning of the stream, I said, listen, guys, we might keep coming back down. Try to take out the rest of them. It's okay. So if you're freaking out right now, stop freaking out. We're flipping all this now. Are we at 21 bill to the top side yet? Yeah. Added 1.3 billion just now. Wow. Hey, yes or no, chat? Y'all think y'all think that the market manipulators are gonna let all these short traders make money? Just put a yes or no. You think they're gonna let them win? Yeah, I just don't buy. Like I have some shitty micro cap, sure, but it's a small bag. Okay, let me word this again because I see a lot of people saying yes. Do you think the market manipulators are going to let all of these people who are betting the market is going to go down win? That's a weird view. I don't like that. Market dumps every time I get paid, but already bought too much. Most of my buys were from the deep red bear market lows earlier this year. Binance getting rid of the longs first. Okay, I need a real raid boss. Staten Island Chris, Dominic. Dominic's the one who said I was on drugs earlier. Why do you guys think that they're going to let them win? I guess what historically has shown you that they'll win? Yeah, bot's down. Bot's down for sure. Why? Bitcoin's down. You know, it's funny. I'll buy something like a microcap and then it'll dump when the market dumps. Everyone's like, oh, the thing you bought went down. I'm like, yeah, everything you hold is down. Okay, here we go. Well, Cheyenne, let me ask you something. Why are you trading news in 2025? You didn't say you traded based on a setup. You didn't say you traded based on anything other than news from Donald Trump. Is it the market's fault or is it your fault? Hell yeah, I've shorted Bitcoin before. 100%. Not recently, but yeah, 100%. Because crypto has never deviated from the S&P, and now it is. That's not true. Pull up the Bitcoin VOO chart. There are multiple deviations over the last 5 years. That usually only lasts a few weeks, which is how long this one has lasted. System for crypto. That's interesting. Shoot me an email. Yeah, this is great. I'm actually going to screenshot this. Hold on. Ethan, you win comment of the day. I'm putting that on my Instagram story later. Go follow me on Instagram, by the way. That's great. That's really good. I screenshotted that. That's really good. We'll see. Acer, put your money on it. Yeah, I do. You can send me on there. Tired of the institutional BS 4 years ago when it was a bull market had happened. Wait, tired of the institutional BS 4 years ago when it was a bull market had happened. Now that big money's here, they manipulate everything. You know what's hilarious? I'm gonna drop a fucking unfortunate truth on you guys. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, BNB. The only things that have made real good gains this market, that have generated liquidity for this market, all pumped because of institutions. Had institutions not come in, this cycle would have not really had any winners. Nothing really would have done that great. Institutions are what caused some good aspects of this cycle. The gains that you guys have generated from some of those other ones were because of institutions. And it's those same institutions that generated you gains that you're excited about, that you're now complaining about, saying they've ruined everything. It is what it is. It's a new asset class. It's decentralized. We all knew what we signed up for. You can either play the game as they play it or just get fucking run over like a dumpster. Amir, it's not true. If you think Leviathan institutions got into this market so prices could go nowhere, I don't even know what to say to you. The manipulations make you get it. Well, shout out to you, Nate. Hey, Jose, I appreciate that reminder. Did the insider well finally lose? Did that just happen? Did the insider well lose on those long trades? Because if so, we can stop the whole narrative. That'd be kind of great. There's so many reasons as to why that's not because of institutions. Retail does not have money like they did in 2021, and there are more coins in circulation, and liquidity as a whole, from a macro perspective, is lower, and there's more macro uncertainty, which creates a more risk off environment. All four of those things would cause altcoins to underperform way, way more than just institutions being in. For the most part, you can. Yeah, Omegazilla. I'm to a point where it's like I'm trying to save everyone, but at some point I just gotta let you guys just do you got the damn thing. Do you got to pay to join the Discord and view your trades? Yes. I don't trade often. I just buy and sell. I'm not a big trader these days, guys. It's fucked up. Who was here whenever I called this HMZ in December of last year? I recognized that the market was going into extreme manipulation. I said, I ain't fucking leverage trading because I don't want nothing to do with this shit. I literally haven't leverage traded since, really. Small stuff here and there, but nothing big. Because like I don't want nothing to do with this. I know how this goes. This is a losing game. Want nothing to do with this. A year later, here we are. Okay. Here we are. It's what we were talking about earlier in the stream. So look, there's still some down below. There's still a little bit left. It seems like they're targeting 7-day liquidations based on the rotation cycle. So this wouldn't shock me. Like I wouldn't be shocked if we come back. It's gonna start getting a little bit harder for this market to keep falling. Bitcoin on the 4 hour is now at the 30. I might trigger a little purchase. I don't know. Nathan, hold on. Nathan. Yeah, hey, we'll do a small one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm doing a small Bitcoin purchase at I'm gonna set the order in at 107.5 if it drops back down there. Just a small one. It's gonna be a tiny one. Just see what happens. 4 hour RSI getting close to oversold. I'm gonna save a lot of that cash. I'm just rethrowing in some of the profit that we took right here, by the way. I'm just cycling. Took profit right here, cycling back in on a small little purchase right here. My bad, G. My bad. My bad. Not the same way that everybody else does. I've said this for months. I don't think there's going to be an altcoin season like 2021 again, ever. No, no. I have not been in position after the big dump. I feel the market has really been unstable since. How do you feel? I agree. Agreed. No, I'm not short at all. It's in the green. Overextended still here on the weekly. Still a ways to go before interacting. What the fuck is that? Alrighty. I hate the fact that my camera is facing the wrong direction. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Is it? Is my face whatever, that's fine. Hasn't triggered yet on the 4 hour. Hasn't triggered yet on the 1 hour. Small trigger a few hours or yesterday on the 30s. No trigger here on the 5s. What about the 15s, which are usually the best ones? And a small trigger yesterday on the 15s. Nothing yet though. Because yesterday's volatility opened up these bands a little bit. No, it's not. You didn't lose 30%. You're just down 30%. There's a huge difference. If you go sell it and you want to start crying because you panic sold, feel free. Matt Brown, appreciate you, G. All love, homie. Can you do a quick explanation of how to read those liquidation map charts? Absolutely. Okay, so go to coinglass.com/pro/future/liquidation map right here. And you're going to have 3 different charts. The first one is going to be based on each exchange, which I think is pointless. The next one is going to be all of the exchanges combined, which is a good one. Then you have hyperliquid, which is like kind of important, especially because like hyperliquid is the center of all the fuckery right now. But I use this one. Okay. So what you're looking at right now is you have an x-axis and a 2 y-axis axes. So the bars. Let's just start breaking stuff down. These bars represent liquidations. So if you don't know what a liquidation is, basically when somebody leverage trades, there's a level at which they will get forced out of their position. And oftentimes that's a good thing for market makers because that money that they lost by getting forced out of their trade will find its way into the pockets of these market makers, right? And so each one of these bars is a price of an asset. So for example, we're looking at Bitcoin. The x-axis right here is the price of Bitcoin, and the bar represents how many people will or how many liquidations will occur at each price. So for example, this big bar right here is $116.4 thousand for Bitcoin, and there are $5.9 billion worth of liquidations that will occur if Bitcoin goes to $116,000. As you see how it says cumulative short liquidation leverage. That's the amount of people who will be liquidated if Bitcoin goes to this price right here. Now, if you go over here, for example, you see how it says 106,588. That's $106,588 for Bitcoin's price. And this means that $801 million worth of people will be liquidated if Bitcoin goes down to $106.5 thousand. Now, the red line right here is Bitcoin's current price. And this red line goes up and down as a representation of where Bitcoin's price is at, meaning that anything to the right of this red line right here means it's above Bitcoin's price because the x-axis counts up. And then anything to the left of Bitcoin's price or anything to the left of this red line means Bitcoin's price going down. So the easy way to look at it is say, okay, in this scenario, there are now more liquidations that will happen if Bitcoin's price goes up than if it goes down because there are more bars to the right side of this red line than to the left side. Another thing you can look at is this green line. This green line right here is the total of it all. So you see how if I kind of just follow this right here, you can see the cumulative short liquidation leverage. This means that, say, for example, at the very top of this graph, $8.39 billion worth of liquidations will occur if Bitcoin's price goes all the way up to 123K. You see how this green line is higher than the red line? It means that there are more liquidations currently on the 7-day charts for Bitcoin's price than there are to the downside. So an easy way to look at this right now is say, okay, there's more liquidations above us than there are below us. So even though Bitcoin's price might continue downwards a little bit to smash these liquidations, it very, very possibly could start to return back to the upside to chase down some of these ones. The people to the top side that will be liquidated are short traders because they're betting that the market's going to go down. So they'll be liquidated if it goes up. The people to the bottom side are long traders and they'll be liquidated because they're betting the market's going to go up. So if the market goes down, they lose. And that's how you read this chart. Let me know if that helps. I don't know, man. I did plan on fighting again sometime soon. I'm just too busy right now. What's up, homie? Welcome in. Should we look at 7 days, 2 weeks, or a month? I personally like 7 days the most. The 30-day is good for the macro picture. The 7-day is really good for like the short and midterm picture. And the 1 day is okay if nothing is happening. If nothing's happening in crypto, I like to use the 1 day to see where the market is, like what direction it's favoring a move in. But I don't really use the 1 day super often. Nah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch them. Shout out to you, Black Apple. Once the bear market will start, the little Timmies will know what is true fear. Yeah, yeah, real shit. It really is true. You guys just don't understand what you're in for when the real bear market starts. I'll be here screaming at you, telling you to fucking pipe down. Hey, you remember? I feel like this stream I've done so much. I told you so. I sorry, but it is what it is. Remember, I said with XRP, don't get too excited until it breaks above 270. And then yesterday, that guy was talking that shit, and he was like, "No, go long on XRP right now. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. 270 is not a liquidity zone." Well, or not yesterday. That was the last stream. It was like 8 days ago, like right here. We went right up to it, nearly kissed it. Oh, we did hit it. Yeah, we hit it exactly, directly, and then immediately got rejected. Watch liquidity zones. They're very important. How are you? Would you say that we are close to the? Yeah, we're definitely close to it for sure. One way or another, we're close to it. I just don't know what close looks like. I wouldn't invest all of it, but yeah, about 90% of it. Why not? You hold these lives even for those who are in your classes. Absolutely, absolutely. There's more stuff that's obviously in the school, and we have better things that are in the school, and you get access to way more in the school. But you don't need to join the school. Like for example, one thing I can show you that is in the school. Like when you join the school, dude, it's actually nuts. So like I always host stuff like this for free because there is just so much value in the school. For example, like if you go into the school right now, not only are you going to get access to all the stuff that I told you about, we have the beginner course. So it's a phase 1 beginners course which teaches beginners everything about crypto. Like everything you need to know about crypto is there. And then there's a strategy creation 30-day program where over the course of 30 days, people have the ability to create a full strategy. If they're a passive investor, they take my school or my course. If they're an active day trader, they take Coach Lewis's course, and you can see it's literally like hours and hours and hours of content of exactly how you can build a strategy from scratch, from very ground, like ground zero scratch. You can build a strategy, and that's just 2 pieces of the school. That doesn't even include the workshops we do every week. It doesn't include the video lessons, the mini lessons, the daily analysis everyone gets, all of the coaching input. I mean, it's ridiculous. So we give so much value in the school that it's like I'm happy to do live streams for you guys for free. You know what I mean? All right, you've been spamming Sonic for a minute here. Please don't spam, guys. Yeah, Sonic doesn't look great. Yeah, it just doesn't look great. I mean, there's really not much for me to say. I mean, I think the obvious thing would be like look for it to break above 15 cents before getting too excited. But it's not shown any good signs recently. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't mean it won't look good forever, but it surely does not look good right now. If you have really, really, really bullish long term conviction, sure, do a little purchase if you want, but I'd be very careful. Are you ever going to stop making videos and lives? I don't know. I don't know. Not before I have children. I don't think. One day, probably. Probably one day. I don't know when. No time soon. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine doing that anytime soon. How can? Where was that at? How do I access those lessons? Join the school. It's linked down below. And if nobody has used it yet, you can use code OCT30. If you sign up for the school today, you're going to get 20% off, but only one person, and I'm sure it's gone now. How old are you? I'm 24. Who's gonna humble it? I don't know, guys. I'm gonna be around for a while. Don't worry. I just don't know for how long. I have other aspirations in life one day. What up, gummy bear? Nothing really, bro. We're just, I mean, liquidation event right now. Not a super big deal, to be honest. It's exactly what we were talking about yesterday. Yeah, yeah. I technically hit a net worth of $1 million early last year. Need you to get 1 million plus subs before bouncing. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I'm good, guy. I'm good. I'm here for a long time. Don't worry. I'm good. Don't worry. Geesley's gonna take over for me. How do you stay hungry? I just love what I do. I don't really need to. I don't really. I think it's just I'm naturally motivated to just try to do better. I don't really feel like I don't have to try to stay motivated to get stuff done. I just like journeys. Like I love the progress. I like just trying, and I just like making money. Like it's fun. Shout out to you, Ryan. Try my best, homie. Any tips of becoming a millionaire in your 20s? You have to get the only way to truly become a millionaire in your 20s is to get really fucking good at one specific thing and run as far as humanly possible with it as fast as possible. Fix mistakes as they happen, make corrections as they occur. When things break, fix them as soon as possible and just invest your money like a madman. It's the only way to do it in your 20s. What I did was very unrealistic. Like what I did is very, very, very hard. I would never ever say that is easy, but you have to be good at spotting opportunities, running with them, and just get really goddamn good at something. Yeah, you already said they might liquidate some more loans before going up. Yep, and it's happening. Have a look who owns most XRPL. It's so dodgy. Some of those guys work for Goldman Sachs and the great. Yeah. I mean, it is true. I don't smoke anymore. I used to in college. Sound is quiet. Shouldn't be too quiet. Tyler, I have 10 grand. Should I buy a car or put in XRP? Buy a goddamn car. You need to make sure you get yourself set first before you worry about investing. Buy a car in cash. Don't have a note. In 10 years, we will talk about how we used to pay between 100 to 150. You get it, Beyond. I appreciate that. Alt plus F4 will fix it. I don't think that's true. I think you're being mean. Well, maybe start buying other things too. Appreciate that, homie. Yeah, I mean, smart in the short term, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. The S&P 500 is getting very high. I went to the University of Lafayette in Louisiana. I was in a I had a full ride for design, then I hated it, so I dropped out of there and applied to the business school. And then hated that, so I just dropped out. How much money did you start with? I graduated, so it kind of depends on what you mean by start. I graduated high school with about $10,000 saved up from working and selling spray paintings and fighting and sponsorships from my MMA career. And then I invested that into the stock market right before the COVID, like the whole COVID shit happened. I like both of them. Oh yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it. Yeah. No, no. I would say rich came from a combination of the fast. Okay, how do I explain this? I got rich, quote unquote, which I think is such a corny word. Sorry, but from YouTube faster just because it depends on what you mean. Because my bag of crypto went up fast, but I didn't really sell most of it. So I had it, but I didn't have it. You know what I mean? So I couldn't spend it. I couldn't really do anything with it. I just had a big ass bag of crypto. But YouTube was paying me cash. My trades were paying me cash. But that came after crypto pump. So, you know what I mean? And then, so those things happen. And then my company now makes half, 50% of probably what I get paid every month. Yeah, I'm happy to talk about it. What do you want to talk about? November was a very good chance to be green. We might get a God candle. We might. Let's see. Huh. It depends on what your aspirations are. Um, and yeah, it depends on what you're trying to do. What do you want from your life? Fuck you, Gabe. I hate you. Where do you think they will stop liquidating the long? It could go all the way to 104. Go back to the beginning of it. You were that good. Good at what? A fellow Cajun. I'm from North of New Orleans, Saints fan. I am indeed a Saints fan. I'm not really a big fan of any sports outside of fighting, but yeah. This was Pepe. This was terrible rage bait, by the way. You just got to try harder than that. What was your turning point when you started to make a lot of money? Right place, right time, really. I was investing in the stocks and crypto for like 3 years before I really made anything. So I don't really. I was just there when the big kabang happened. Really, it's yeah. I don't know. None. I don't have any trades open. Absolutely love. All love. Go buy XRP, an asset that may or may not go up over the next couple years, and don't have a way to get to work or school or don't have a car. Just walk everywhere and hold this bag of XRP. No, get your fucking life sorted first. Get your shit together. Get some money coming in, and then invest. Don't invest to try to get your life in order. You're just gonna be like all these crybabies. And no, no, a used car does not depreciate 40% when you buy it. That's not true. No, what? You think he's going to buy a brand new car for 10K? No. Mike, what do you want to talk about, bro? Yeah, sure. And buddy, with the 3 mil short on Avance, just got liquidated. Oh, surprise shorting a support. Rumble, I've answered this question like 3 times, homie. It's just terrible rage bait, bro. It depends. I don't. What do you mean by this? I have a video on my personal channel, but generally, like, I'll usually from trading, my profit taking, YouTube, my company, I'll do like 150 grand a month or something. Just join. So why are we crashing and don't get it after good news yesterday? They're just liquidating people who are betting too big. What move or moment made you realize and dots start to connect in life where you were like, damn, and you keep thinking about that every now and then? Probably when I invested in something called Stag Industrial. I put like 2,500 bucks into it because it was a real estate investment trust from back in the day. And over the course of like 6 weeks, while I was taking midterms and stuff in college, my Stag Industrial bag went up like 2x, and I took profit. Crazy. And I made like $2,500, which is more than I was making in 3 months at my job. And I was like, holy shit! Like, what the fuck is even going on? It was kind of like a wow moment for me. I'm in psych and uni, and I can tell you what my peers who are in finance know less about markets than me from doing my own research. I've seen that as well. When you pick a career now, kids, make sure to have an automation resilient end goal in mind and invest hard from day one because you don't know how long it'll last. I love that. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I was all right. I was all right. I had 22 total kickboxing matches as a whole. I lost one, won the rest. So it's 21 wins and one loss in kickboxing as an amateur, like pre-amateur as well. MMA, I went 7-0, 7 wins and 0 losses. I was number 3 in the Southern United States at one point, and then as a professional kickboxer, I only had one fight. I was 1-0. So I think my total across all striking matches was like 28-1 or something like that. No, I get turkey, pepperoni, and chipotle sauce. Leave me alone. You guys all saw your money. Pepe, you're so lame, bro. Could doing YouTube like this open you up to being investigated by the art? Yeah, sure. I don't care. I do everything. I pay my taxes every goddamn month. I'm chilling. They can come look at whatever they want. Not really. I don't really get that scared about anything anymore. Fighting used to draw the most nerves out of me. So now it's like, dude, I've literally made that walk and fought in front of thousands of people and got in the cage with guys I was genuinely afraid of and beat them. So now it's kind of just like, nothing really gets under my I don't know. Sorry, I'm gonna try to catch up to this chat. Yeah, generally. It'd be hard if you didn't have one. It depends on what you mean by good money. You can make 5 or 6 grand a month if you just really hustle, but it'd be kinda hard. Yeah, yeah, I have a sister. She graduated with a master's degree, fully paid for by her college. She had a master's degree in, psychology, I believe, and then now she's been working with her husband who coaches NFL players on their company, a seven-figure business, and she is currently attending Harvard for business, which they are paying for, um, because of their business. So she's doing great. She's doing a really good job. Not we're not trust fund babies or anything like that. We come from, I would say, very middle class. Great parents. Our parents are always there for us. They always helped us with however much they could, but we didn't have a whole bunch of extra things. We took a vacation a year like everybody else, or tried to. We came from rather normal beginnings. I would never say I started in the dirt. I never started poor. I would never say anything like that. But I didn't really have any advantages. I've not $1 that I have made has come from anyone but myself. And the same thing goes for her. So very proud of her. When you were younger, what were your goals? And in your current position with this income, what are your next goals to achieve? When I was younger, my goal really was just to be able to, like, I wanted to do whatever I wanted. That was kind of my goal. Like, I want to do whatever I want to do, and I don't want anyone to tell me what to do. So I thought I was going to do that through fighting, and I was going to go to the UFC, and that's all I cared about. But now that I don't want to go to the UFC anymore, and I don't really care about fighting anymore, it's definitely changed a lot. My goal right now is to make as much money as humanly possible to just take care of my wife and kids that are going to be coming sometime soon, and just really travel, spend time with my wife and family, make sure we're good. That's all I really care about, honestly. The rest of it's just surface level bullshit, to be honest. Yeah, I know Lex. Good guy. What's a strong income for an 18-year-old, would you say? $1,000 a month. How are you handling your crypto when it comes to taxes? I have someone who handles it. Which crypto channel do you watch? Benjamin Cohen. That's about it. House of Crypto is also a good one. I like that as well. A car is not a necessity. Okay, yeah, just don't go anywhere. Don't get a job. Don't go to school. Don't do anything with your life. Just buy XRP like this fucking psychopath. Great, yeah, it's cool, bro. Kingdom, you're actually slow, bro. Do you think lizards will continue to sweep left and right? Yep. Yep. 100% Ryan. It's going to keep going on and on and on. Why do you eat fast? I love fast food. Fuck you. Leave me alone. I love, what do you mean? There's nothing wrong with some Raisin Canes. The same shit makes me happy now as it did back then. I get every weekend food, dude. When they got UFC fights, I order some fucking chicken wings from Wingstop and watch some UFC fights. That's life. I do most of the same stuff now that than I did before. I wouldn't call this person poor because they have 10K. Most people don't have 10K. Hell yeah, crypto taco. Yo, UPS is low key a solid move. Kingdom living, you're assuming everyone lives in the same place as you. Shout out to you, Black Apple, Maji. Have you ever physically attacked Cade for fun, and how did he react? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I try to punch Cade and shit every now and then. Yeah. Subway run time. Nah, no subway run. It's early, bro. It's 9 a.m. Why are there 700 of you watching me yap right now? I love you guys. Can you message Lex and tell him he still hasn't sent me the 1,000 USD? I'm not getting involved with y'all stuff, bro. Agreed. Wealth doesn't mean no fact. That's what I'm saying, bro. I just like some Raising Canes. I've been watching since the beginning of especially so genuine, hard to come by. I appreciate that. I try to just tell you guys. There's not many questions I won't answer. You guys can basically ask me anything and I'll answer it. Could a reversal start now? Sure, maybe. Yep. Bro, can you do a Raising Cane's live stream with you dipping this chicken the long way into that big strafe, bro? You gotta relax, bro. I appreciate that, homie. I don't watch Crypto Galaxy. He doesn't like me. I am watching you from Vietnam at the moment, and the food here is so good and healthy. How is it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. How's Vietnam? I'd like to go one day. They will print as much money as possible. USA is an AI arms race getting to this. I'm trying to catch up on these chats. You guys are awesome. Abdullah, are you my Abdullah who doesn't like the song that I play in the beginning? Not gonna lie, you're like my crypto therapist and always online in times like this when nobody else is. One of the things that I have always told myself is that I will always be there for you guys when everyone's not. So I don't really, I don't like when some other people, like when the market gets scary, it's so easy for us to run as creators, right? Like I'll make a video and it feels good. I make more videos when it's bad, just because I'm like my people need me, bro, and I get good views. You know what I mean? It's great. It's a win-win. Like you guys need me and I get great views. I don't think there's a problem with that. Connor is one of my best friends. He was in my wedding. Sorry, guys. Sorry. God damn it. I answered so many questions just now, bro. I was talking so much shit to that guy who's telling me that they should put 10K next. I was talking so much shit, bro. Well, into the ether it goes. 100 people left the live stream. Oh god damn it! I was trying to mute my mic because Carrie Ann was getting mad at me. Yeah, my mom was like, "Yo, come do this laundry, G." Yeah, no, literally, bro. Literally. Damn. Both. Why not a little both? Never has to be binary. Non-binary. I don't even know what that means. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Santa be nice. Fuck you, man. Man, y'all can kiss my ass, bro. How about that? Kiss my ass. All right, let's see. Alrighty. Is this new? What the fuck is this? This is cool, bro. What the fuck is this? Have y'all seen this before? Huh. Huh. This is cool as fuck. Okay, let's see. Look at what all of the biggest liquidation events were. Long traders, long traders, long traders, long traders, long. Let's see, when does it flip? Let's see. All the big, yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm so glad we're past the Tesla shit, bro. Wow. I definitely will say the fact that the market is dumping, like we're seeing the market falling right now, and there still are liquidations below us, always means there's a massive threat of continuing lower. There is a very real threat that Bitcoin continues down into that 105, 106 range. Because there's not any like immediate liquidations above us. You see how there's nothing like immediately in front of us on really, yeah. I mean, the best move for the market makers would just be to keep it falling, keep it going all the way back to even like 105, 104. Like pulling into this yellow zone would be the best move for them to make. The reason it might not though is because we do have support here, like at 106. So I would be very cautious right now. I think it's more than reasonable for them to pull it lower. Today, William Shatner is minting a video media token on Cardano. It's a huge milestone. I don't like all those celebrity things. What the fuck, Geese Lee? No, lock in. What's wrong? Let me know if you're all good. All right, Eric. I'll see you later, G. Crypto is for dumb idiots without education. Only a dumb motherfucker capitalizes a word in the middle of a sentence. You got no you got no periods, bad capitalization, stupid grammar, and you gonna call people dumb. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. How embarrassing. Robotic and turbocharged. I don't really do too much with memes right now, to be honest with you, homie. I almost called you homie. Or almost called you ho. Don't know why. But I meant to say homie. But take it as it is. It's the dip before the dip that dips the dip into the dip, of course. That's what I'm saying. Geese Lee has been too locked in on that brain. Where are you originally from? Louisiana. The boot. Short everything. Don't do that. As long as we don't lose a 50 EMA, we should be straight, right? I mean, that's a part of it for sure, for sure. Not yet. Wonder what Sailor has to say after the close of the day. He's smashing by too. Tyler, do you think Jerry the Turtle was a rug pull? I never talked about it or really looked at it. Come on, end it so I can watch from the beginning without video. Nope. I'll keep this bitch on all night. All the perma bulls have been cremated. That's not true. I've never heard of Giggle Coin, bro. uh, okay. This is the rage bait. I was about to say. This actually almost got me because I'm like, motherfucker, all of my calls recently have been almost 100% accurate. That was almost good. You almost got me. That was good. Bro literally put Tyler obviously getting rage baited in Moody. That was a good one. That was close. Proud of you. Is there if there would be a language you'd like to learn, which one would it be? I speak Spanish. The next one probably maybe French. I think that'd be cool. I feel like that's like the big three here. Everyone says November's gonna be bullish, means it's gonna dump. Speak Spanish. Have you invested in crack? Carrie Ann, it's okay. I don't think I excessively curse. People here on my streams have heard me excessively curse. This isn't me excessively cursing. I speak how I speak. You know what I mean? Like you can find it cringe. That's okay. I love you too, Carrie Ann. Like we can disagree to disagree. But my thing is, would you prefer me to be someone I'm not? That's my would you prefer me to be someone I'm not? Or would you prefer me to just give you my like I'm just gonna be who I am. You know what I mean? Oi, don't want to no, there's no way Trump tries to run a third time. I wouldn't say no way, but what trade are you planning on right now? I'll probably just dollar cost average a little bit. If Bitcoin drops, which it very well might, because this little 1 hour candle is looking a little suspect. I speak English, French, Romanian, Spanish. I need to learn Chinese. Sheesh. Where's the milk? I'm definitely not quitting. Don't follow fear of buy. The strategy has been working for me since Bitcoin's 12. Godly, $12. I hope you mean 12K. We'll see. Yeah, I feel like now that I speak Spanish like 60% fluently, I feel like learning Portuguese and French would be rather easy. I'm not ignoring Solana. What are you talking about? It's okay, Josh. You just need to lock in, G. You don't have to spam it though. What up, Nick? Welcome back, my boy. Tell him he's running, but not really. Mom said, "I hope you mean 12." Man said, "I hope you mean 12K." I was saying, "I hope you never." No, I'm just no like the likelihood of someone buying Bitcoin at $12 and watching mine is crazy. Oh, am I wrong? Is it hard? Okay, but my thing is when people speak Portuguese, I understand some of the things they're saying because there are similarities to Spanish. But maybe I'm wrong. That could have been an ignorant thing for me to say. Sorry. Exactly. What do you think about the USDT dominance chart? Doesn't seem like there's a lot of money waiting on the sideline to be. I don't know if I agree with you there. Yeah, I really. Let's see. I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't really agree at all. I mean, I feel like it's actually holding up decently well. As the market's not been performing great the last few months, the USDT dominance has been going up, meaning people aren't fully exiting crypto; they're just exiting their positions. No, no, I haven't. Jeez, $12 Bitcoin's crazy work, bro. No, it wouldn't signal the bear market, but it would make me get very cautious. Oh. French is difficult and Spanish won't really help, but English does. The thing about it is, I think what they're saying is that Spanish, the setup for word, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the way that you set up sentences and stuff in French is very similar to how you do it in Spanish. So, like, you know how when you speak Spanish, you position certain things in different places. I feel like French does the same thing. I can't remember what the word, the proper terms are, but like the describer words and stuff like that. That's weird, bro. Giggle coin, I just couldn't take serious. Seems like just yesterday, Bitcoin 76K. So about facts. See, like I know with certainty that says France is not. Does that say French is not very difficult? Wait, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Anywho, okay, I may be wrong on that one. Okay, these are my buys and sells, by the way. I'm just him. I'm I'm just him, bro. I'm just him. I'll lie. Okay. So like you see how in French, okay, like in French they have the okay. How do I explain this? You see how that word at the end is obviously the word difficult. There's words in French that look like words in English, and there's words in Spanish that look like words in English. I can't remember what they're not called conjunctive words. I don't remember what they're called, but there's a lot of them, and it makes it really easy. Satire is one thing. Blatant disrespect is another. I, for one, of my we pulled back down. The reasoning should be obvious, but I can't support someone who demeans others intentionally. Good luck all. I wonder if she's talking to me. I wonder who I blatantly disrespected. I feel like I reciprocate disrespect. Like if someone gets disrespectful towards me, I get disrespectful towards them, and it's mostly me joking. But if you're talking about me, it's like good luck. Okay. the thing I noticed English speakers struggle is masculine and feminine for yeah. What tool is the red and yellow? How do you set it up? This I just drew this in. I drew in the range. These are just liquidity ranges that I drew in. Bro got baited. I am definitely with certainty not the nicest person ever, but it's okay. Conjugation. That's the word I was looking for. Conjugation. Who got me, bro? Who? Wait, what did I who baited me? I'm so confused. Did I get got? Did I even not? Could you give us a little scalp trade signal? Be very thankful. Trying to recover some losses. I don't really do much scalp trades. What the fuck is Yorondo? What is that? What is Yorondo? Oh, now that would be confusing. That would cause me to struggle. Oh, Isaac coming in with the clutch. Bye bye, Strafe. I love you. What's your opinion on Tyler? You're handsome. What's your opinion? Why is it? It's lagging, bro. Okay, I'm saying the nice because you're genuine. I will take genuine. I won't. I'm not really that super nice. Oh, drink your tears. Oh, the cream of some young guy. Anyway, buy the fear. Don't hate on it. It's a blessing. Might not feel like it now, but volatility is a gift. Volatility is what gives us the market that we're in. XLR is pretty solid. Yeah. Yeah, probably. A lot building at 106.5. 106.5 might end up turning into a magnet. What do you suggest to do right now to recover some losses, bro? Any favor from you would be a blessing. Buy on the dips and leave it alone for a year. I do like XRP. I just don't like Maxis telling people to buy XRP instead of a car. Just stupid. Yeah, don't go to school or work or anything. Just buy XRP and hope it goes up. Moron. Got to get back to the real world. Shout out to you, Ryan. Happy to have you, homie. Yeah, no, I got to go eat pretty soon here, boys. Y'all listen to Nicki Minaj or no? I don't. I'm just curious if y'all do. Anyway, why would retail people that aren't in crypto now want to get into something that can drop like this? They don't come in until the market pumps. They will not enter until the market pumps, but we don't need them for the market to pump. Gabe, shut up. I hate you. I feel blessed being in my 30s, never having to own a car, though. Lots of money saved. Yeah, if you live in a place where you can do that, that's great. Like if I lived in London, center of London, downtown London, I probably wouldn't really get a car. You don't really need one. If you have access to public transportation, that's great. This guy needs a car because he needs a car, right? So it's, yeah, whatever. My first car was a 2016. Damn. What was it called? It was a Camry, but Toyota Camry. I couldn't think of who made them. Toyota Camry. I love it. It was called Groot. I miss it sometimes. That's okay. Cap, you listen to her. We caught you, bro. With the bounce quick or just a false break out of it? I'm not sure. Oh, Megazilla, you better stop. If you have 10K, you can buy a car, some money for insurance, and buy XRP. Come over. Yeah, I completely agree. But he said go all in on XRP. I didn't say I listen to Nicki Minaj, dog. I'm just saying, man, I hate you guys. Literally, bro. Yeah, that is true, to be fair. Italian, Portuguese, and French would be fike. I would taxis here. Have a nice trip. Geese Lee, shoot me a text, Geese. Make sure you're like when you're good. Let me know if you're all good. Dude, Camrys are so goated, bro. I'd be down for that. Quick little smash to the 105ers. Have a good one, Trevor Prince. All love, G. I just ate a walnut. I feel like passing out of us. What the fuck? Well, I don't know. Go to the doctor. What do you want me to do? That was a random. No, okay. The reason I said that is because my wife has been singing fucking bees in the trap, bees in the trap. She just walks around saying that shit for some reason. And so it's been stuck in my head. So I almost said it out loud, but I changed my mind because I knew Stein was going to make fun of me. So, and Jason was going to make fun of me. So I didn't say it. Then I asked, fuck you guys, man. Leave me alone. I don't know. I guess we'll see. What is that profile picture, bro? Crypto Future says we go to 102K then back up. That's interesting. 102K would be surprising. Yeah, man. It's just that simple. Monopoly money or crypto? Probably Monopoly money. Best no, I have the most degenerate, crazy ass crypto community on earth. But I love you guys. I think my degeneracy brings out the worst in you, all of you. But I'm glad you're here hanging out with me. Like I don't like the fact that there's 600 of you guys in here just yapping with me is hilarious. A couple things. Let me show some stuff right quick. Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram. I post stuff every day. And then you can also see what I'm kind of doing. Like this is me. This is me. I post stuff like this on Instagram. I'm probably gonna post I need to post another like little fight montage thing. I have a couple. I have so many of these just kind of in the pipeline that I never really like do anything with. We need some fight streaming on Retake. What is Retake TV? But yeah, y'all can go follow me. It's The Life of Tyler Hill. I have it linked down below. It's towards the bottom of the description, kind of. Firevid. The guy who made this, or I don't remember who made this video actually. It's so weird that was me a few years ago. But yeah, go follow me on Instagram. Also, the school, feel free to join it. I post a whole bunch of stuff in there every day. And somebody who uses code OCT30 is going to get 20% off. Go check it out. Oh, also, if you're trading, if you don't know how to trade, don't trade. If you don't know what leverage trading is, ignore what I'm about to say. Cover your ears. But if you do know how to trade, you can get up to $10,000 in bonuses and lower trading fees if you check out the link to BTCC down below. Again, really, 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 really good bonuses right now. Yep, you can join the Discord server via our school. Oh, wait, and the camera frame. Like a sarcastic double thumbs up? Sure. Hopefully that was fire. My birthday is Saturday. Maybe I'll get a pump for my birthday. That's what he's... Jesus. Yeah. We'll see, I guess. We need more to say it's over, so it cannot be over. Be bearish, even if you're bearish. If you're not bearish. I think I get you. Love it. Bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. Kind of a banger song. Hey, y'all would be crazy to say Nicki Minaj has never released a good song, though. Be real. Get out of here, bro. All love, G. No, it's this one. 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 That sucks. Please do it. Please do it. Please do it. Come on, son. Whatever. Didn't work. Anyway. The world hates me. Gotta go. All right, Reg. See you later, G. Common sweep that 102, 105. Should pass on to the retail FOMO 140 and be done with it. I'm so down for that, bro. That'd be so nice. That's actually not super unrealistic, but we'll see. What do you think about Elliot's wave analysis? Yeah, I like Elliot's wave theory. I don't personally use it because I think it's too complicated for a YouTube channel. Like people, it would really limit the amount of people who would watch my content because it is somewhat confusing to learn. So I just don't really use it publicly a lot, but I do check it every now and then. I'll just ask 10K to join a crypto class. Red flag. It might not be, but that's a good bit. That's a good bit. it's just sorry, man. It just is what it is. It's just the way it goes. See you later, G. Balls on Jihad is insane, bro. I signed up, but I can't connect to the Discord. Patreon has messed up. It's been 4 days now. I never got an invite link. Oh, Stein, just email me, bro. What are you doing? Why have you not told me this? Stein, I think you have me on Instagram or something. Just DM me on Instagram. We'll get it figured out. Sometimes it'll just glitch out. Just email me, bro. We get it. It might just be in your spam or something. You probably just didn't see it. All righty. Well, look, boys, I have a meeting that starts in 17 minutes, so feel free to ask a few more questions, and I'm going to rock and roll. Price will bounce from here. This is the second retest after the breakout of the massive resistance that dumped the markets when Trump announced China tariffs. Maybe. This is a big back test, though. And back tests don't usually take you this far down. One thing that I will say that people are ignoring, though, is the micro golden zone. This will be very interesting. Losing this 106,000, like 106K, easily could shoot us back to 103.4, and then losing that would send us to 100. Losing that would send us to 96. Like very, very worth it to watch this for sure. To the point where I'm actually going to go in and make that one gold and make this one like orange. There we go. There's a lot going on here, man. Wonder if I can get this to go above it. There we go. Bro, he literally didn't message me ever. Oh, I hate you. I don't know. So is your analysis Bitcoin should drop when it touches the yellow zone? No, it wouldn't drop. These are support zones. Yeah, sure. It's always a good time to scalp, in my opinion. Market speed to the next lower high. Oh, I get what you mean. That's an interesting perspective. That's an interesting perspective. I like that. What's up, Sean? There is no way we go below 102 because that's what all the lizards bought all during the crash. Unless they want to buy lower. Nah, I don't really trade any MSTR. Looks like a head and shoulders. I don't see that. Headstock, we're about to close it out. Actually, I have a meeting in 14 minutes. No, I haven't talked about bot. Still holding though. 180 will be difficult. I think 150 is reasonable. Yes. Unlikely, but yes. I think the reason it's unlikely, in my opinion, I think it's unlikely that they're setting a trap in that way is because the shorts climb every time the market moves like this, which just goes to show emotional revenge trading more than anything. I wouldn't. I'm just. I don't think this is a good market to be shorting in personally. I don't know. What's your primary reasoning for believing it's going to 89K? Because I am looking at the big picture, but truthfully, 89K is a very random number. There's really not much confluence at 89 at all. So I'm curious about your perspective on why 89. Yeah, it's kind of just one of those things, Vikey. It's just one of them things. Yeah, we'd probably be in a bit of a better spot. Absolutely, I'll always be here for as long as I'm making vids, homie. That's possible. That so it is possible. That's why I keep saying even if Bitcoin's price falls, I'm not concerned until the daily candles start closing. Because what could happen is a wick, right? Like a wick down, like bang bang, just a smasher below 100K or something could happen. It's all about the recovery afterwards. That's more of what I'm paying attention to. Appreciate it, G. No, 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 no. Please do not start with the Santa rally stuff. Don't. None of that stuff is real. Please don't. Just it's just best to bet it's not real. Santa rallies, Pumptober, no whatever. No, don't. I want your views as I consider you as my brother. No, my general view is that the market's consolidating, range bound, liquidating long leverage traders in every bounce until it tries to find some sort of macro support and work itself back up. No, I wouldn't agree with you there. I wouldn't agree with you there personally. I think the market's in a much more fearful spot. And if you look at 30-day liquidations, for example, it's much, much lighter. I mean, this was at like $20 billion at one point. I wouldn't agree that people haven't learned. People have very, very clearly gotten washed. I don't think so. What do you think Bitcoin will surge or drop till Christmas? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of conflicted about that because I've been poked in the eye really hard in a fight and I genuinely could not see well. So I can see his side, but at the same time, it's like you're a champion, main eventing, and your first big, like you got to just fight through it. I think if he was winning that fight, he wouldn't have said that. I'd agree. Another part that that I will say is like, what about right now is scarier than back here, right? Whenever all this stuff was happening, the Iran Israel thing was not solved yet. Russia Ukraine was not solved yet. China tariff situation was getting really bad. Quantitative tightening hadn't been confirmed coming to an end. Interest rates hadn't been cut as much as they had been. What about back here? What about right now is worse than back here? What will happen now that would force this market lower than it did go back here? I don't see that personally. You just draw a downside drawing, but say a level you think I don't know what you mean. Just think you are packing your bags to leave the market and suddenly the market gives you 100K. How would you feel? We might. Either we touch the weekly cycle low and shoot to new ATMs or a lackluster rollover. It's reasonable. Yeah. I mean, anyone can say what they say, you know? No, no. So that fight's not happening. It's your meeting time to go. I got 9 minutes. I don't like Cardano. I don't hate Cardano. I just don't really care about it. Shout out to you, Jod. Ledger. Yeah. Why don't you look on shorter time frames? Because they're full of bullshit. This doesn't really paint you a great picture of what's happening. This looks scary. This, on the other hand, doesn't look very scary. Yeah, you're just too exposed to smaller things. You need bigger cryptos in your bag. It's stability is what you need. We could. I don't think that's super likely, but we could. Gold or Bitcoin? I'd go Bitcoin. I tried my best, homie. All right, folks. Look, I do need to go. I need to go prepare for this meeting. I appreciate you all. 2 hours in. I've been trying to stream as much as possible recently, guys. I asked you for just a quick favor. If you guys are enjoying the streams, you do find them valuable. If you do like this video, it will actually get the stream out to more people after I end the stream. That is very important. So I would really appreciate it. Outside of that, I hope you guys do have a great day. I'm probably still going to make another YouTube video later today. So stay tuned for that. Hope you guys did enjoy. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.